Hello viewer, welcome back to my channel. And for the firsties, welcome. Today I'm going to be talking about inflation. What is inflation actually? Inflation refers to an increase in the amount of a nation's fiat currency. That is, the amount of fiat currency has been inflated due to money printing. Increases in item prices is not inflation. Increases in item prices are in fact caused by a mix of inflation, supply and demand pressures, and currency valuation changes. Inflation is a stealth tax that can only be made by governments and/or central banks through the dilution of the value of a country's currency. Inflation leads to a decline in the purchasing power of each unit of a nation's currency as a result of the increase of currency due to money printing by governments and/or central banks. Truth number one: the more the amount of currency increases, that is, inflates, the less each unit of currency is worth. As a result, even if the implicit value of an item hasn't changed, the price of the item increases as the value of each unit of currency is decreased. But there are more truths to come. Next, what is the Consumer Price Index? A Consumer Price Index, or CPI, is a price index, the price of a weighted average market basket of consumer goods and services purchased by households. Changes in measured CPI track changes in prices over time. The basket of consumer goods and services has been changed by governments over time, which makes comparison of CPI increases or decreases over time and between countries problematic. Truth number two: so, the real cost of living effects can be hidden by manipulating the basket of consumer goods and services. As I mentioned earlier, item price increases are a mix of three things. Next, we shall cover supply and demand pressures. Supply and demand of an item can also affect the price of the item. The availability of an item is affected by the amount on offer, and this can be affected by supply chain issues, some of which can be caused by wars or weather or other adverse events. As well, capital, labour, and political actions can negatively or positively affect supply chains and thus item availability. And now for the third thing: currency valuation changes. There is one other contributor to changing prices after all of the above, and that is the effect of currency valuation changes between currencies. For instance, if the Australian dollar is dropping in respect to other currencies, that will have the effect of increasing the cost of imported items where the Australian dollar has dropped with respect to the currency of the imported items. Now, what does this all mean? So, truth number three: item price increase or decrease is the result of inflation effect plus supply and demand effect plus currency valuation effect. Now for truth number four: cost of living increases or decreases are the summation of all item price increases or decreases and are dependent on each person's circumstances, that is, what they consume, and are measured in part only by the CPI processes. And finally, truth number five: the rest is just manipulation and politics. Who would have thought? Thank you all for watching today. If you like what you've seen, please hit like and subscribe. Thank you once again, and see you sometime soon. Cheers.